If you buy a handgun in Washington state, a record of that is sent to the Washington Department of Licensing. It's supposed to be entered into a secure database that is accessible only by the criminal justice system. But as of this moment, 550,000 handguns, more than 500,000, are backlogged and inaccessible to the cops. And that initiative from last year will add to the workload, an estimated 124,000 rifles per year.
She was stalking our house. She was looking for a way to get in.
Why did she come to your house?
We still don't know. During sentencing, she told the judge she was very confused that day.
Crystal Anderson didn't know the strange woman who showed up on the doorstep of her Seattle home at 4 a.m. last August. After trying to break into her home, the woman sat and burned a candle until police arrived.
She was smiling, laughing, coloring a rainbow with colored pencils on an envelope that she had, and just staring at us. It was incredibly scary.
And even more so when the woman admitted to responding officers she had a gun in her nearby car. Crystal believes her security camera video from earlier in the night shows a pistol in the woman's right hand.
One of the videos we see her with her hand like this and something black that appeared to be what we thought was a gun. And so then we got really scared and realized that there was much more to the story.
Police arrested Catherine Gaudette for criminal trespassing. In court proceedings recorded on audio, a judge issued this weapon surrender order, requiring Gaudette to immediately turn all her guns over to police.
You're not to possess any weapons or firearms, and you need to surrender any weapons or firearms that you have.
Gaudette handed over just one handgun, the Sig Sauer 9mm she admitted to having that night at the Andersons' house. While Catherine Gaudette was in jail, her landlord evicted her and found this stash of firearms while clearing out her apartment. It included two handguns, a CZ Ramey 9mm and Browning 22, both manufactured in 2015, that are not in the state's firearm database. And that highlights the problem. It's possible that Gaudette's purchase records for those two pistols are sitting here at the Washington Department of Licensing in paper form, waiting to be entered manually into the database. DOL's backlog of handgun records stretches back more than 3 years, around the time Gaudette could have purchased the two undetected handguns. The backlog includes records for 550,000 handguns purchased in Washington state.
All of those backlog guns need to be accounted for.
Crystal says that information is vital to protect victims, like her family, that are threatened with firearms.
Our government that's responsible for protecting us is just being lax about this. And for the system to not be doing its part, it feels negligence.
The challenge will get even bigger in July because of the passage of Initiative 1639 last year. It requires DOL to add purchase records for semi-automatic rifles to the database, estimated to be an additional 124,000 firearms per year.
And then we enter in the model number or the manufacturer model.
After years of warning lawmakers that it can't keep up with the growing numbers of firearms records, DOL finally received additional funding from the legislature last year. Now it's asking for $4 million more to replace the manual process with a new automated system that will provide a stable, usable, and reliable system to law enforcement partners.
Hello.
After this investigation and a conviction at trial, the Andersons still don't know why Gaudette stalked their family. Crystal says fixing the troubled firearms database is something state leaders owe to crime victims like her.
I would say please take the responsibility. Do what's right, do what's on the books, find the resources and make it happen.
Gun rights groups largely oppose any database or registry that tracks gun ownership, and the federal government is specifically barred by law from doing that. And that's why funding's been so hard to come by, opposition in the state legislature. Governor Inslee has this funding package included in his proposed budget for about $4 million, but the final budget needs the approval of lawmakers, so they're in session now, and this is the kind of thing they're working out.
All right, Chris, thank you for that.
Okay.